Tonight, we are at the end of a dramatic week in the January 6th investigation and on the verge of another week of potentially explosive hearings. We're going to get into all of that now, but I want you to stick around for something special a little later in the hour, something we don't think you'll see anywhere else tonight. But first, let's talk about these hearings. The Select Committee investigating the Capitol riot holds its next public hearing Tuesday at 1 p.m. Eastern. It'll focus on former President Trump's efforts to push key officials in several states to change their 2020 election results. Georgia's Republican Secretary of State, Brad Raffensperger, and his deputy, Gabriel Sterling, are both expected to testify.
We've all heard the infamous phone call where then President Trump was trying to force Raffensperger to find votes, essentially just make stuff up so he could become the president again. But we'll go through a variety of issues that we think will be revealing. Not everything has been out in the public so far.
We also know the Justice Department is paying close attention to the House investigation. Today, the committee said it's cooperating with a DOJ request for transcripts of the interviews with their witnesses. The department made its first request back in April, but the panel wanted to wait until its investigation was over. Well, on Wednesday, DOJ ramped up the pressure with a letter warning that the delay was holding up criminal cases tied to the insurrection. The committee spent the past week tying Trump and his team's actions to that very attack. On Monday, it was testimony about Trump ignoring advisors who told him over and over that he lost the election. Yesterday, how he and his lawyer, John Eastman, tried to push Mike Pence to block certification of the vote. Well, today, Trump fired back during a speech in Nashville, Tennessee. After railing against the hearings, he came pretty darn close to flat out admitting that he had pressured Pence, and then he went after him again.
One guy got up and said that he heard me calling Mike Pence a wimp. Now, in honesty, I'm the President of the United States. You know, I'm sitting, I think they said at my desk, he's a wimp. How many people listen to me? It's like, I don't even know who these people are. But I never called Mike Pence a wimp. I never called him a wimp. Mike Pence had a chance to be great. He had a chance to be, frankly, historic. Mike Pence had absolutely no choice but to be a human conveyor belt. Mike did not have the courage to act.
What Mike Pence did was follow the law. And as for Pence himself, he has been talking to the Wall Street Journal. He says he has not spoken to Trump in about a year and that he is not interested in revisiting the 2020 election. He also told the paper he will make a decision about a presidential run for himself in early 2023. There's also news about another former Trump official targeted by the 1-6 committee, former trade advisor Peter Navarro. You remember him. Trump found him from an Amazon search. He pleaded not guilty today to contempt of Congress after defying a committee subpoena. He will face a jury in November.